Sorry, I just had a weird audio output firing up, but I think we're okay. Race sound should be coming through, and I should be coming through as well. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. BobbethTV is live. You know what that means. The 420 Oz Sim Racing League is back. This is the Gen3 V8 Supercars. We debuted them halfway through Season 3. This is the start of Season 4, Round 1. Season 4, and what better place to start off? It's the track probably closest to me, where I am in Australia, in Tasmania. We are going to Melbourne. Victoria Springvale is our home for the Sandown International Motor Raceway Round 1. For the 420 Oz Sim Racing's Gen3 V8 Supercars. So about halfway through qualifying with about 17 cars here today. Let's get down to the track and have a look and see who we have got. So I try and find my qualifying mode. Why is that not activated? There it is. All right, so we can see Luke Fallon out there with the quick time 108.810. Jackson Sufong and Vladimir Shumilov in the second and third. Just trying to think. I don't see Ryan Hunter on there. Ryan Hunter was our champion for Season 3. Shrubgod in the chat. Yo, Shrubs. Welcome. Shrubs is one of my Twitch streaming partners in crime. Check him out. He does a lot of good stuff. He's looking to get back into the solo streaming as well, but we do a lot of joint co-op games, things like that. Why is that not coming through? Is it not coming through on Twitch? It must be, because Shrubs is watching. This wasn't updating live. We are also welcoming in our first ever stream to kick tonight. I don't know how that's going to go. Oh, it's probably still set to Journey to the Savage Planet. On the description, let me double check that. I just realised that. I'm saying Irish. No, it does. Oh my god, I did change it. I am excellent. Let's go through some of the other drivers that we've got. Cliff Ram, Jan Potter's back. Kelvinda Singh, Nathan Taps there in the top 6. Hayden Watson, everyone's favourite Finnish driver. Juha Sarila is here as well. Jacob Smith, Wayne Rogers, Anthony Haig, Rob Chandler, Matteo Minelli, Wade George, and Max Mokolov, Brad Armstrong. There are 17 drivers registered, so there is one that has not at least taken the track yet. I believe that is Justin Geared. If you are here to check anyone out, let us know, and we'll make sure we somehow highlight them before we get to the race. About 5 minutes of qualifying left. Then they will go to a 5-minute warm-up just to test out any last-minute changes to their setups. 50% fuel here tonight. So looks like at least a one stopper. Now a little bit about Sandown for those that are American or aren't as familiar for Sandown. Now, it originally joined iRacing very recently, in the last 3 years. It was back in Season 3, 2022, back in June. It was... oh, sorry, it says it was officially joined iRacing in Season 3, 2022. Yeah, so June 7th, 2022 was when it was officially released as a part of a wave of new Australian circuits on to the track. Got a blood ball game in about 5 minutes, so we're looking at that. No worries, Shrubs. Appreciate it, brother. Now, this digital recreation does feature the current national circuit, 1.928 mile or 3.104 kilometre, 13-turn layout, and that's been in use since 1984. As you can see on the track, they are running an anti-clockwise run around this track. Now that gives them two good straightaways. We can see down at the bottom there, which is just off the start, as well as on the top northern part of the track run. That is where the main passing opportunities will be available for the cars. Track not too tight, does have a little technical sort of moment to it, but other than that, it should be a fairly competitive race. times, not that different. 108.810 is the quick time, and 111.556 for Mac Mokolov. All the way down the bottom in 16th. So that's really about just under 3 seconds, about 2.5 seconds difference there. So it is going to be a good, nice close racing. Oh, the Castrol machine just locking up there. That one looks like it's Brad Armstrong, the 88. Now you'll note we do have two different cars out on the track. The Gen3 V8 Supercars do have two different models. We got introduced to those last season. That is the Ford Mustang GT Supercar and of course the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Now the Ford Mustang here at Sandown, its handling traits, it's going to be slightly more stable under brakes. Just because that does have slightly better front end weight distribution. Now it will be sharper turning on mid-speed corners, which will be useful through Sandown's turn 6 and 7 to 9, the infield chicane. Now the strengths at Sandown for the Ford will be that it reacts well into turn 1's braking zone and turn 4 hairpins, and great if you prefer a front end positive car that helps with tight direction change. Things to watch for in the Ford though will be less planted rear and long corner exits like turn 3 and turn 12. And you will need to be gentle on the throttle. Now the Chevys, the ZL1s, they have more rear end traction, especially on the corner exit, thanks to how the weight is distributed and that horsepower comes in. Now smoother over curbs, especially noticeable through turn 9's fast left-right flicks. So once you get out of the chicane there, slightly lazier on turn-in. Does mean you'll need to trail brakes a little bit more aggressively. Now, your strengths at Sandown is it does feel confident putting the power down on Sandown's long straights. You will feel that push. Now, it is better for drivers who like to plan and push out of corners, but they will need to watch out for the need for more finesse in rotation at slower corners like turns 4 and 6. So, pros and cons for both cars. It's going to be interesting to see how they all handle that. Getting very close to, oh my God, he's just gone straight into that safety barrier. That is Jackson Sufong, the 92, second fastest, 108.978. Did get that on his last lap, it looks like, so that's not a bad run. There's Jacob Smith heading in to the pits. Looks like Nathan Tapp, the last of the cars, here he is. We're going to have to complete his run as he comes into the pits. Last minute changes before we go to our 5-minute warm-up, and then at 8 o'clock the main event will start. Round 1, season 4. This is the 420 Oz Sim Racing League's Gen3 V8 Supercars. Well, looks like Ivan Falcone might have gotten out on time to be able to get a lap in before the qualifying session completely ends. He's our 18th driver. Let's jump down to, well, he runs out this lap. I don't know if he's completed a full lap, so I don't think it's going to count a time because you do a lap to get up to speed and then a full lap to start. So let's get into the cockpit. Let's watch it from Ivan's point of view here. No, it looks like qualifying might have ended there. It has. Unfortunate for Mr. Falcone. We'll see him back out on the track in warm-up. Oh, how do I edit that? All right, for that. Oh, here we go. I think I've got it. All right, I think we might be able to get the kick thing working properly. I was just going to say, we have. Oh, we're in the camera still for warm-ups. All right, let me fix this real quick. For those of you just tuning in, this is the 420 Aussim Racing League's Gen3 V8 Supercars season. It is season 4, round 1. It is the start of their new season. We're going out live on BobbethTV on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch like normal, but we would like to welcome Kick into the mix. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Kick and its viewership and audience, so let's go check you guys out and bring you in. I do believe we do have some viewers over at Kick, so welcome, guys. Jump in the chat, say g'day, and appreciate you checking us out. We have the 420 Aussim Racing League on Sunday nights Australian, Wednesday nights Australian, starting next week as well. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning Australians, we have the Knuckleheads iRacing Leagues, Grassroots Racing Series. There's a dirt track mixed car racing series, and then Thursday mornings it is the KMKZ Promotions Hell Tour, their Nationals Late Model Series. So welcome, Kick, if you do like dirt racing or sim racing and watching a lot of international drivers do their thing, and this weird Aussie calling it all, then welcome. You may have found a home here with us, and we appreciate you. All right, about 2 minutes to go in warm-ups. Our first time on the board is Wade Georgeson with a 1:11.09. Now the track, as the track gets run through, the speed will deteriorate a little bit, not to mention tyre wear, things like that. So while 1:08 was quick time in qualifying, it may not be the time that comes out now as some of the guys switch over to a more sort of longer running setup for their car. Those cars for qualifying obviously set up for a 15-minute run. So sorry, Shrub's walk-on sound just played, I don't know what, about 14 minutes after it should have. But thanks, Flip. Thanks for catching up, playing along. Appreciate you all. Yeah, Cirilla 1:14. So still about a 3-second differential between best and slowest times, which is what we saw in practice and qualifying. All right, so a bit of a chat about these boys. So they do race time based, so it will be a 60-minute race starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, Australian Eastern here tonight. So in just a few moments, well, actually we've gone just over because of the qualifying, but yeah, it is an hour-long race that it is scheduled for. So not a completed number of laps, it is completed times. Who is in the lead at the hour mark will be our race winner. All right, as this one wraps up, let's get our grid up on the screen. Let's find out where everyone is starting in this one. All right, there we go. Finally got my camera controls all sorted out. So we can see there Luke Fallon will be starting our first round of race here tonight on the front row, right alongside Jackson Sufong. Sorry about that. Worst time to get some gunk in my mouth. In my throat. That was horrible. All right, Luke Fallon and Jackson Sufong, front row, second row. It is going to be in back up there. Why is my grid not showing anymore? All right. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, there's been a big crash at the start there. Not sure what happened there. So it looks like it might have been Kelvin Singh spinning out at the start. Let's just... We didn't get to do the grid. The grid apparently didn't want to wait for us. Messy start there. Alright, so can't get the grid up for whatever reason. That stooged me. It didn't start. It was very automatic for some reason. But basically, let's see here. Sort by position. So basically, Luke Fallon and Jackson Sufong were in the front row. Vladimir Shumilov and Nathan Tapp. Then we've got Anthony Hagen, Wade Georgeson, Hayden Watson, Robert Chandler, Brad Armstrong, and Matteo Manelli. Kelvin Singh and Yuha Cirillo around that 6th row. 7th rows Ivan Falcone and Wayne Rogers. 8th row Max Moklov and Jacob Smith. 5th Ram Jam Potter on that 9th and final row. Justin Gear did register as our 18th driver but is not on the track. We'll find a bit more of a wider cam there. Let's get the race speed up a little bit. Sound, race sound. Luke Fallon, Tickford Racing, our apparent race leader. This Vladimir Shumilov and Jackson Sufong. Looks like Nathan Tapp making a move as well as Jackson falls back in 4th. Vladimir's up into 2nd. Sorry, Nathan Tapp into 3rd. He's got Kelvin Singh 11th behind him. Kelvin popping down that side. That's the Chev versus the Ford there. No, Chev versus Chev, but geez. Kelvin just popped out beside Matteo and took off as if he was just a different breed there. So it's what you do with Yuha Cirillo now in that. Brad Armstrong in the Castrol 88 machine. I wonder if he'll try the same thing he did with Matteo, get this thing onto a straightaway, just pop it out the side and run down. It doesn't look, actually, it doesn't look like he is, but he pops in the middle of the track. I don't think they're going to have that much of a speed differential there. Machine. Brad Armstrong Kelvin Singh comes up on the side of Brad Armstrong there. Brad off to the side of the track, gave a little bit too much room there. Let him really just push his way through. So did Matteo Manelli. In the 10th, Brad Armstrong back to 11th. Lap 4. Only 4 minutes in, so what's that? It's about 6 or 7 laps. Do the math. off-track issue back there. Just misses the camera kept up with Kelvin Singh here. Falls back to 9th to 11th. That's Yuha Cirilla right there behind him in the cash machine. Fourth, Brad Armstrong. And Ivan Falcone. Then Wayne Rogers in the 420 beast. Racing to go in this 1 hour 60-minute long race. Just 10th of the way in so far. Starting off season 4, round 1 in sunny Melbourne, Springvale. This is the Sandown International Raceway, Motor Raceway, sorry. Is the home to Grand Prix, to V8 Supercars, to pretty much anything. If you race it, it's raced at Sandown. Sandown 500, one of the biggest Australian races, up there with Bathurst and a lot of the other endurance battles. Fallon, our race leader at the moment. Nathan Tapp currently second. Jackson Sukong in third. Vladimir Shumov and Anthony Haig in fourth and fifth. At top at 10 from 6 to 10. Hayden Watson, Kelvin Singh, Matteo Ranelli, Yuha Cirilla, and Brad Armstrong in 11 to 16 on the track. It's Ivan Falcone, Wayne Rogers, Jacob Smith, Rod Chandler, Potter, Max Mokolov. Wade Georgeson currently in the pits. Justin Geard. He register as the 18th car in this race, but has not taken the grid. Wayne Rogers went off the track, came back on it all right there in 15th. Max Mokolov back there behind him in 16th. This is that pack there. We're currently looking at Ivan Falcone. Looks like Nathan Tapp, one of the first guys to pull off into the pits. A bit early for a pit window there, but the boys on the track know better than me. He'll know what he's doing. That's strategy. Backstretch, a couple of mainly left-handers to come up, a few little flicky rights as they come through the chicane here and into that big left-hander. Oh, looks like we lost the Winfield machine. That is, I believe, the 707 of Wade Georgeson. Sufong, Vladimir Shumilov having a bit of a battle for second and third. I just noticed on my leaderboard as we jump in with third place, Vladimir Shumilov. There is Jackson Sufong up ahead of him. So they come down through that little chicane left-hander. Let's jump in Jackson Sufong. Let's grab a lap in Jackson's car here in second place. See if we can see what it's like with Vladimir chasing him down, with him trying to close that 14-second gap on Luke Fallon. Doc Dabs in the chat. Welcome, Doc. How you going, brother? We've got the 420 Oz Sim V8 Supercars Gen 3 editions. Season 4, round 1. Sandown International Raceway, Motor Raceway. We're at Sandown, Victoria. We are currently 11 minutes into a 60-minute race. No laps to complete in this. Well, obviously complete the laps, but it is who is in the lead at that 60-minute mark will win this race. Right now, Luke Fallon is that driver. We are currently riding along with Jackson Sufong. Coming up on the end of this full lap from inside Jackson's car. See how much turn they've got to get on. A lot of that would be brakes as well, because geez, that wheel's turning quick. Chandler here and Cliff Potter race their way down to the end of a lap 10. They're going to start lap 11 here. That left-hander as we ride along with Rob Chandler. You can see who's up there in front of him. Ivan Falcone and Jacob Smith, 11th and 10th place drivers, it seems. So we're looking at it, we're at about a quarter of the way there. So it's at 11, so say 40 laps, 50% fuel. So probably coming up on the fuel window very soon, within the next 2 or 3 laps. So probably around the 17, 18 minute mark, 20 minute mark, we might start to see cars starting to go into the pits. Currently Ford versus Chev battle going on right now. The Mustang versus the Chevrolet. The Chevrolet got a little bit loose there. The Mustang's going to race away to start lap 12. That is Rob Chandler, Cliff Potter there in the Chev. Pizza Hut machine. That was Max Mokolov. Back to Ivan Falcone and Jacob Smith though. 10th and 11th place. Back on 4th. Here's Hayden Watson for 104 Motorsports. Kelvinder Singh behind him. So we come into that left-hander. Kelvinder Singh Sidhu, of course, driving for KSS and Motorsports. right there on Hayden Watson's tail. Oh, I didn't turn the mirrors on. Well, we're back. Do something. I apologise. I'll be as quick as I possibly can. So next time we're in a car, actually, let's just jump in the car and have a look. What the? Oh, I know why. I know why. It's green flags. There we go. That's a bit better. Thank you for the like, Rob. I appreciate you, brother. Now we can see what they can see behind them. That's much better. Hayden Watson and Kelvin Singh having a great battle here. Without too much of a challenge so far. It's Chev versus Chev. We do see Matteo Manelli back there in the background, as well as it looks like Anthony Hague, Hasarilla, and I believe Brad Armstrong in 9th place. So a couple of boys still there, chance to make a run. We've got at least one pit stop to go in this battle, so that will also shake up the order of things a little bit. Wade Rogers unfortunately has retired, so just the 16 cars remaining. And Rogers Justin did now out of this race. Just a fraction. It's really bugging me, so there we go. Awesome. All right, lap 16 of what would say about 40 something, I guess, 40 odd. Is currently the lap. We're on 18 minutes into this 1 hour 60-minute race. 16 cars still remain in the opening round of the season for battle here at Sandown International Motor Raceway. Such a mouthful. Sandown. It is the 420 Austin race series Gen3 V8 Supercars. Luke Fallon, our current race leader. Jackson Sufong and Vladimir Shumilov in second and third. Hayden Watson, Kelvin Singh, our top 5. Matteo Manelli, Anthony Hague, Hasarilla, Brad Armstrong, and Jacob Smith, the 6 to 10. The 11 to 16, Ivan Falcone, Rob Chandler, Ivan Falcone. I'm not sure if it's Falcone or Falcone. I've known someone who was spelled that way with Falcone. So, Rob Chandler, Cliff Potter, Nathan Tapp, Max Mockloff, and Wade Georgeson. All of this. You are watching all of this live on BobbethTV, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, but also now Kick as well. Welcome, Kick, to the family. Lots of good things about it, so I figured why not give it a try, check it out, see what the audience is like. Yeah, so why not? Why not? Get eyes on this lot for all the other leagues that I broadcast, more than happy to. Rogers, not happy with his actions on the track, disqualified himself, took himself off. Has apologised to the lads affected, but looks like this race still in good effect. Juha Surila, here he is here in 8th spot. Anthony Haig just ahead of him. You see Brad Armstrong in that Castrol machine, though, back there behind them on the late break with the bit of an understeer into the turn. Just carrying a little bit too much speed to do that. Grass got eaten up a bit there on that chicane, as was one of the drivers, I believe Brad Armstrong, really straightened that one out. No, it was Anthony Haig actually. Brad Armstrong is in the Castrol machine, the Vodafone machine. That's giving me a little PTSD. I used to work for Vodafone. Is Anthony Haig. Brad Armstrong back there behind him. Juha Surila in the pink machine ahead. Machine wide again on that one. It's going to drop him back to 9th in the spot there. Anthony Haig. 10th is Jacob Smith. Ivan Falcone back there as well. Up there ahead of them, they can see Brad Armstrong in the Castrol machine. That pink 696 is Juha Surila. Very much coming up, only 8 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go until the halfway mark of this 60-minute race. 50% fuel is the max fuel they can carry in these machines, so we know that as we get close to that 30-minute mark, depending on how the guys have been driving those cars, conserving fuel or using fuel, they will need, that will affect whether they go in the pits a little bit earlier before halfway, or whether they can wait until they're just about right up on it. Vodafone machine himself off the track with that overcorrection. Falls in the back to 11th spot there, so Ivan Falcone there. The car with Ivan now as he chases down Jacob Smith. You can see Brad Armstrong and Juha Surila are definitely up ahead of him. Currently in the 5th place, Hayden Watson's car back to Jacob Smith. Just about finished. I can see the 6 on our track map coming into that last left-hander. As he gets that straight away run onto the start finish line. Lap 22 officially underway. 25 minutes into this race. 60-minute total battle here for these Gen3 V8 Supercars. Fords versus Mustangs. Mustangs versus Chevs. Ford versus Chevy is what I was meant to say. 8-week-long competition. This is round 1. In Victoria, Melbourne. Springvale to be exact for Sandown. Over the Sandown 500. Quite a few different types of races run on this track throughout the years. It's been around for what? I think about 45, 50 years almost. Supercars, bloody just stock standards, Kingswoods, F1s, everything. A lot of different open wheel, old open wheel stuff. Jack Brabham, famously as a win here. All right, let's jump up to the leader, give him some flowers. We're going to ride along with a lap with Jackson Sifong, Luke Fallon, Tickford Racing's Luke Fallon. And let's just see how he is maintaining this almost 20-second lead over second place Jackson Sifong. I'll be back in just one moment. Where is Luke on the track map? Just coming in to the backstretch on the top part of the track. He's going to come out of this right-hander in just a moment and get that long straightaway just to open her up. Let's get a better look at that happening. Not sure if that's showing brake or acceleration or speed next to the wheel, but bit of an insight into how finicky a lot of this stuff actually is. I believe we've got the dashboard as well. There we go. So we're sort of watching him go up through the gears and stuff. See what sort of speeds Luke is hitting as he takes off for the 25th time around this track. We're about 28 minutes in. Yet. Looks like Tab and Nelly and Rod Chandler have been in the pits. Lap 22. A couple of guys went in a bit earlier. Lap 6, 7, and 8. 6 for Wade George, the 7th and 8th, and then Tab. See how that plays out. Starting to see a lot more go into the pits there. Jackson Sifong, Jacob Smith, Yuha Cirilla, Anthony Hay, Cliff Potter. The strategies start to come into effect. Will it be a two-stopper? Conserve fuel. Can you get 50% fuel to last more than half the start of this race but still run a good run up the front? That's the question that Kelvinder Singh, Hayden Watson and Brad Armstrong, Ivan Falcone are going to have to ask themselves. Looks like Luke Fallon and Vladimir Shumilov have gone into the pits. Hayden Watson, Brad Armstrong still in the pits, so of these other lads, Nathan Tapp, Luke Fallon, etc., out of the pits back in this race. JJ Martinez, there's a name I have not seen in a long time with the Facebook like. Thanks, JJ. If you're watching, brother, hope all is well. Big love. All right, so only two guys still yet to pit, Ivan Falcone and Kelvinder Singh. Gotta wonder if Nathan Tapp will need to go back into the pits before the end of this race. I wager he will. I don't think 6 laps of fuel is going to be enough refuel to run this one out. Armstrong there in 9th, 10th, Jacob Smith. They are battling it out through the chicanes there. It was a weird angle watching that one as we watched Anthony Hay come down through behind it, but it looked like they were going to drive off the side of that track there. There's a little concern with the directional sense, but no, that was just a trick of the camera angle there. Cirilla there in who's on the track? 14th at the moment, a lap down due to that prior pit stop. To try and race his way back in. We've got Metal Militia versus Index Designs there. Jackson and Sufong. For Motorsports and Car. And that's Nathan Tapp in 2nd place. Those two battle it out as we start lap 28. So we'll get more than the 40 odd laps I was guessing there. It's about almost 50, if not over 50 laps, Bob. Be a decent opening round here at Sandown. 420 Oz Sim Racing Leagues Gen3 V8 Supercars Season 4 Round 1 battle. We've got to introduce these lads midway through Season 3. Ryan Hunter not here tonight. Took that race out, that series out by 5 points over, I believe it was his teammate. Let me just bring the results back up on the screen instead. Joshua Rimmer, Luke Fallon, our current race leader. The only one of those top 3 here tonight. Actually, looks like only Luke and Brad Armstrong of the top 5 here tonight, so might be an idea of some different top 5s throughout the season this season. See guys like Nathan Tapp, Jackson Sufong, Vladimir Shumilov and Matteo Minelli spending a lot of time up there in this top 5, racing to that podium spot. I wonder if I can move the dashboard of the driver. One was fix both. Okay, that's it. Start there. So let's just quickly fix some of this and then get back to calling it this race. So say 1,000. Not way more than that. 350. No, nah, let's be greedy, Bob. Oh, wait. Let's just do that. Just need to bring it down a little bit. We do have someone in the pits, Matteo Manelli coming on out. Let's see that. I hate to do, Bob. Forecast bloody race. So let's see for Matteo Manelli. If there is a second stop for anyone, that will be advantageous to him. Have to wait and see how that plays out. Also heading on into the pits. We fell back into our current race leading spot. We've got that 20-second lead over Jackson Sufong in second, still there. See Luke Fallon, our race leader, but up in front of him, he has got 12th, 11th, and 10th. Rob Chandler, Matteo Manelli, and Cliff Potter. Behind him, Max Mokolov, Anthony Haig, and Juha Cirilla. You do not want to be. That is usually my scariest point of the race in terms of you don't want to affect the battle up the front without being involved in said battle. So it can be a little bit daunting sometimes. Inside Luke Fallon's car here as we come through turns 6 and 9 in the chicane. Rob Chandler back there behind him. Looks like a couple of the cars coming off the track there. Max Mokolov in the Pit Hut 10 machine coming out of Russia. Cirilla there, 14th. That is Max Mokolov. He's a lap down, well, 2 laps down from the lead lap, but a lap and down from Yuha, so Yuha's going to be able to get past him without really not fighting for that traditional 14th, 15th spot, not for another lap at least if touch wood something happens with Yuha. Minutes into this race. We're almost at the 4:20 mark, 42 minutes in. 1 hour total for this race. The 420 Austin Racing League, Sunday nights, Gen 3. This is season 4, round 1. Exclusively on BobbethTV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and now Kick. Coming Wednesday nights. I think the Gen 2 V8 Supercars start this week as well. Also got the American Racing Leagues Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings. Australian Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is the Knuckleheads Racing Leagues Grassroots Racing Series currently. And then on Thursday mornings is the KMKZ Promotions Nationals, the late model Hell Tour. So if you do like racing, definitely give us a follow, a like and subscribe on any one of the 4 channels. And you'll be able to keep up to date with any of the racing that these awesome drivers are putting out. I'm so lucky to just have quality leagues reach out for broadcasting. Up into the 6th place there. Just trying to see the 37 on the track, Matt. Just trying to look out the car behind him. Castrol 88, I believe. It might actually be Brad Armstrong right there. It is. So position 6 and 7 still not locked in. Ivan's going to have to work for this one, as Brad is right there. Jackson Sufong not that far ahead of him though. That does look like that is the 32. Nathan and Tap back there in the background. Wish fuel count was something we could actually track and see. It is unfortunately something that's not officially sort of tracked by the telemetry software for iRacing, for the broadcasting and stuff. But not as far as I can tell. I've sort of looked through my options and I couldn't find anything that would sort of give me those details. But yeah, it would be interesting to sort of have a bit of an insight into where the fuel situations are sitting for a lot of these people. Wait, there is a fuel component. There is? We might be in luck. Alright, so we're coming up on the final 10 minutes of this race. Still enough laps for things to happen as we see some of these cars that are bunched up, still racing quite hard. Nathan Tapp, Brad Armstrong, and that looks like Matteo Manelli back there behind them. Actually, no, it's not Ivan Falcone, Brad Armstrong and Nathan Tapp, my mistake. 6th, 7th and 8th, still very, very much being battled for. Something really quick. Hayden Watson there. That is most certainly Jackson Sufong as well. Looks like another car in that battle, not a part of the challenge. He pulled out and let them go. Should it be working? I was just having another quick look. I just wanted to sort of go. That's weird. All right, as we come up to the dying stages of this race, still a few battles on this track that will decide their positions. Jackson Sufong and Hayden Watson in 4th and 5th is definitely one of those battles. Behind them, 6th, 7th and 8th, Brad Armstrong, Ivan Falcone and Nathan Tapp. They're also in their own little battles. Yes, really, Cliff Potter, Rob Chandler and Haig are back there behind them, but a lap down. Obviously, Australian iRacing league, but with international drivers, it does seem fitting that we start off in Melbourne, Victoria. Sandown is our track here tonight. Part of a bit of a series of releasing basically getting more Australian tracks in the sim. I'd like to see some of our dirt tracks. We've got 3 in Tasmania alone. But basically there's 7. So there's Adelaide Parkland Street Circuit, Mount Panorama, of course, Bathurst, Oran Park Raceway. That one is actually close to the Phillip Island Grand Prix Circuit, obviously Sandown International Motor Raceway where we are now. The Bend Motorsport Park. It's also marketed as Shell V-Power Motorsport Park at the Bend, but that is a mouthful. No one wants to say that. And of course, Winton Motor Raceway. Now, the Adelaide Street Circuit is getting a bit of an update, and the Bend Motorsports Park obviously looking to be updated as representing New South Wales victory. Oh, there's been a crash. I think that is the 88 Brad Armstrong there, the Castrol 420 machine. That Mustang just gets whipped around as some of these other guys come rolling past him. Still looking for some more fuel details. I'm just curious if anyone's going to run out towards the end. We have seen that in the past, and look, that can be a thing. You can sort of conserve plenty of fuel in that first half of the race, but once sort of everyone settles into their rhythm and line and puts challenges on like this, you start to have to race against your grain a little bit, and that can make things very interesting. Luke Fallon, third place in the overall championship in season 3, is coming out season 4. Guns are blazing. Has been our race leader for predominantly the about 90% of the current race run. The only reason he wasn't was because of when he went into the pits. Inevitably he fought back a few spots. Once he got the car back out of the track, wasted little time to get that one back up and running. 3 laps remain. So yeah, about a 50-lap race. Not a bad opening series here. Jumping into the 32-car Nathan Tapp. Ivan Falcone up there ahead of him. That is the push. That's the position he wants. One extra spot just gives you a couple extra points. Give you an idea of the points breakdown of this competition actually. Basically, the difference between 6 and 7 is 61 to 64 starting points in the first round. That is a great little foundation. It can mean all the difference, those couple of extra points. Any sort of gap that you can build and hopefully generate from. Great in-car cam view of Ivan Falcone, the 37 out of Italy. He's currently in 6th place. Nathan Tapp just back there behind him. Hayden Watson just at their front. They are continuing the tradition we saw in season 3 where cars around that 4th to 8th spot, just insanely competitive. There is no one in that area that sort of has any one sort of control over any driving position. It's always hotly contested. Last season, there was a few other names there. Peter Van Wingard, Juha Sarilla. I don't see Peter Van Wingard here tonight either. Sandown, not a free track, so a lot of the guys sort of race a mix. They do race a mix of free and paid content. So some of the guys only ever race the free content. Some able to sort of splurge on some of their more favourite tracks, things like that. That's why you will often see some guys that are generally in contention or up there or spoken about, and they're not mentioned. trying that last-ditch effort. Tyre wear would be next to none. It would be quite... oh, it's like Nathan Tap. Looks like he will be probably one of our first victims of the fuel strategy there. Looks like he had to go into the pits and knew he was going to make another lap. By the looks of that, that is going to cost him a few spots. Drop back to 9th. He shouldn't drop back further than that. The rest of the guys behind him are a lap down from that lead lap. So potentially keeping Nathan in that top 10. Race leader, touching wood, barring any sort of seriously crazy interactions, will be tonight's winner of the round 1 battle of the V8 Supercars Gen 3 editions, Ford versus Chevrolet, for the 420 OCM Racing League Season 4 of their Gen 3 V8 Supercar competition. Left-hander there as he comes down through the last little bits of chicanes and tomfoolery. I'm supposed to do, but there it is, checkered flag. Luke Fallon will officially take out round 1 of the Gen 3 V8 Supercars 420 OzSim Racing League competition here tonight. Kelvinder Singh, KSS Racing. He's going to take out 2nd here. Jackson Sufong will get 3rd. I think we saw Yuha Cirilla just finishing his 2nd last lap there. Get it now. I just noticed it actually says the positions on the numbers on the car windows are their positions. I've only just learned that. That is super handy to know. As we wait out the finale of the rest of this run here before we get the results up on the screen, get our official finishing order down, but great opening round for the 420 OzSim Racing V8 Supercars, the Gen 3 edition, Season 4 here. We'll go over the schedule while we wait for the remaining cars to come through. But we're starting off obviously here at Sandown tonight, Phillip Island next week, then Mugello round 3, Portland for round 4, then it'll be Road America round 5, round 6 will be the Detroit GP. Round 7, the Canadian Tire round, and then finishing it up round 8 at Bathurst. I think we've got our official results ready to go. Let's get them on our screens here tonight. The Gen 3 V8 Supercars here at Sandown International Motor Raceway, finishing officially in 18th place, but did not take the track. Justin Geared, 420 OzSim driver. Wayne Rogers in 17th. Wade Georgeson for 420 OzSim also in 16th. Max Mokolov and Anthony Haig 15th and 14th. Rob Chandler and Yuha Cirilla also representing 420 OzSim Racing 13th and 12th. Just to add into that mix, we can't forget Ram Jam, Cliff Potter in 11th. Then Jacob Smith in 10th. The other 420 brethren, Brad Armstrong finished in 9th. 104 Motorsports, Hayden Watson in 8th. Nathan Tapp and Matteo Manelli 7th and 6th. In the top 5, Ivan Falcone 5th. Vladimir Shumilov 4th. 104 Motorsports teammate Jackson Sufong in 3rd. Kelvinder Singh for KSS Racing in 2nd, but there could be only one winner. That man is Luke Fallon, coming out of Tickford Racing, as we watch a bit of the celebratory burnouts out there on the track as we wrap that one up. All right, guys and girls, join me again tomorrow morning. The KHR Knuckleheads iRacing League is back tomorrow for their round of the Grassroots Racing Series. It is going to be week 9 of 11. And we will be starting off the night with, let's have a look, with the Pro 4 trucks at Crandon. And then finishing up with Pro Late Models at Charlotte. Tuesday morning, we will then have the non-wing 360s at Bristol, as well as the 360 wings at Bristol, and then wrapping it up Wednesday morning with the super lates at Knoxville. So, yeah, as I say, like, follow, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, BobbethTV. Thank you, Kick, for allowing us onto your platform and checking us out. We had a couple of viewers coming in and out, so that was quite cool. Hope you liked what you saw and check us out some more. But on behalf of the 420 Oz Sim Racing League, my name's Bob. BobbethTV's out. Love is all. Boy.